Hello dear students, good morning and welcome to our class once again. How are you? I hope you are in the pink of your health, right? So today class 8 book Gulmohar 9th edition and its chapter we will be going to start. So just keep your book handy and open it. So dear students, have a look at the chapter. Gogol's first day. What do we mean by the title? Yeah, of course we are talking about a child, small child, and his name is Gogol, right? What is his name? Gogol, okay? And it is his first day, means the child gets his admission to a new school, right? So the child goes over there along with his father. Obviously it is his first day, so registration and so many other formalities are to be observed, right? So the title of the chapter must be clear to you. Gogol's first day means we are talking about Gogol, who happens to be in his new school on his first day along with his father, right? So before we proceed, first of all we are required to know a little bit about its author, writer. Who is the writer of this chapter? Jhumpa Lahiri. Jhumpa Lahiri, okay? Have a look. Jhumpa Lahiri was born in London, okay? She was born in London and raised in Rhode Island. She is the recipient of a Guggenheim Fellowship and author of 2 previous books. Her debut collection of stories. Debut collection means, first of all, what are the books she wrote for the very first time? Okay, so her debut collection of stories, Interpreter of Melodies, this is first book, was awarded the Pulitzer Prize, the PEN Hemingway Award, and the New Yorker debut of the year. Okay, dear students, her novel The Namesake was a New York Times notable book. So this author got name and fame throughout the world through her book, okay? And so dear students, you know that this chapter was written by Jhumpa Lahiri, one of the notable writers of her time. Okay, so let's have a look at the introduction of this chapter. Gogol Ganguly. This is the full name of this child we are talking about. Okay, so before I explain other things, let me tell you 3 main characters are there in this chapter. One, the child itself, Gogol, right? Gogol Ganguly. And second character is the child's father, okay? Ashoke or Ashok you may call. And the third one is the principal of the school, of the new school. Got it? So here it is. Gogol Ganguly is a young Bengali boy who lives in America. So the background of this story is based on America, right? So he is about to start going to school for the first time. As I told you earlier, being first day, Gogol is a bit hesitant, is a bit afraid, as usual generally the child is, right? Being first day. So his parents, Ashoke or Ashok you may call, and Ashima, the child's mother, tell him that he will be called Nikhil when he is in school. Means the child is quite confused because since birth he has been known as Gogol by his parents, but now as he is being told by his parents that his good name, his official name will be a little bit different. So the child is confused regarding the significance of the new name. Why is he required to be known by another name, official name, pet name, good name? Okay, so Gogol has never been called Nikhil because he has never been called by this name. That's why the child is confused and he cannot understand why his parents have made this decision. Okay, so this is the theme of this chapter in the form of introduction. Now line by line we are proceeding. Got it? So have a look. Gogol doesn't want a new name. Yes, because the child is used to being called by his pet name Gogol. But now as he has been told that new name will be given to him, official name, different official name will be given to him. So the child is confused, right? He cannot understand why he has to answer to anything else. Anything else means other than this name. Why is he supposed to respond to this new name? The child, being child, the child cannot understand the significance, right? So the child is thinking, why do I have to have a new name? Why am I required to have a new name? He asks his parents. Tears springing to his eyes. The child is a little bit upset. That's why one or two tears are rolling down his cheek and he is asking his parents about it, right? What is he asking? Why do I have to have a new name? Got it? It would be one thing if his parents were to call him Nikhil too. Means the child is thinking and the child is indirectly asking his parents, if you wanted this name, if you wanted me to be known by this name, why didn't you start calling me by this name earlier? I would have been comfortable, right? So, but they tell him that the new name will be used only by the teachers and children at school. So, the child's confusion increases a bit, right? Because now they are saying, don't worry, dear, we will be calling you by the name Gogol only. But this new name is supposed to be used by different people, means your teachers, outside people, official name it will be. So the child is more confused, right? But they tell him that the new name, okay, new name will be used only by the teachers and children at school. He is afraid to be Nikhil. Now the child is confused about this name, Nikhil, right? Someone he doesn't know. He does not know the man, who does not know the person having the name Nikhil, and who does not know him. And exactly in the same way, the person by the name Nikhil doesn't know him. Means the child is quite confused, because now he will be, when he is taking admission to this new school, he will be having two personalities, right? One is private or personal personality and second one is public, right? So in his personal life he will be known as Gogol, and in his official life, public life, he will be known as Nikhil. That's why the child is quite confused, right? His parents tell him that they each have two names. Means his parents are explaining that it is the culture in that nation, in their country, where people have two names. One is pet name and another is official name, good name, right? So, two, as do all their Bengali friends in America. The child is Bengali, you know, Bengali, he is, because the surname, look, Ganguly is there. So they are saying this is their culture, this is the culture of Bengali people while being in America, that they should have two names. Got it? And all their relatives in Calcutta. Nowadays its name is Kolkata, but earlier its name was Calcutta. Okay? So in Calcutta also this is the same pattern. It is a part of growing up, they tell him. Beta, don't worry, this is one of the common patterns, right? One of the common practices. Okay? So don't worry about that. They tell him, part of being Bengali, he is supposed, and every Bengali is supposed to behave like this. So they write it for him on a sheet of paper. So they are a bit worried about the child, whether he will be properly used to being called out by this name or not. So that's why what they do, they write the name on a piece of paper and ask him to copy it over 10 times. Yes. So students, your parents also might have given you some mathematical calculations or tables on a sheet of paper, right? And they might have told you in your early childhood, yes, learn them, write them 10 times, 20 times, like this, so that you may cream, you may mug up that stuff, right? So they want him to be quite comfortable with this name. Don't worry, his father says, to me and your mother, you will never be anyone but Gogol. Beta, don't worry about that. For us means for me and your mom, you will remain Gogol only, not Nikhil. Nikhil is just your official name, right? So students, now second, at school, Ashok and Gogol are greeted by the secretary. Means they both go to school. Mrs. McNabb, who asked Ashok to fill out a registration form, common formality to take admission to any school, one has to fill in the registration form. So his father, means Gogol's father, is told. He provides a copy of Gogol's birth certificate and immunization record. Immunization record means a record that explains that the child is quite healthy, means he has no problem, no physical problem is there, right? So which Mrs. McNabb puts in a folder along with the registration form, right? These are documents. You may be asked a question, what documents were provided by Gogol's father at the time of admission? So one is birth certificate and second is immunization record, right? And this way Mrs. McNabb says, leading them to the principal's office. Now the secretary takes them to the principal's office. This way, sir, please come this way, in this way, right? The name on the door says Candace Lapidus, right? Means this is the name of the principal. Mrs. Lapidus is a tall, how she looked like, it has been given, right? Her appearance. So Mrs. Lapidus is a tall, slender, tall, height, good height is there, slender means quite thin, right? Woman with short white blonde hair. Her hair is cut short and blonde hair means golden brown. She looks at the registration form and smiles kindly at the boy. She gives a very good smile at the child, right, who is clutching his father's hand. The child is a little bit afraid. So the child is holding his father's finger, as all other children on their first day do. Right, dear students? So let's discuss the first question. Gogol doesn't understand or accept the explanation his parents gave him. Yes, Gogol's parents gave him an explanation. What? That don't worry beta, this is our custom that we Bengalis, while being in America, while being in Kolkata or Calcutta, are supposed to have two names. So we have decided to give you another name, official name also, and the name is Nikhil. But don't worry, we will be calling you Gogol only. So, but they feel they have comforted him. Gogol's parents think that they have assured the child that he will be comfortable with this new name. They have explained each and everything, right? So how does the writer show that Gogol is still confused? What line in this chapter, on this page or in this paragraph suggests that Gogol is still confused? How does the writer show that Gogol is still confused? So have a look. Do you find the answer? Here it is. Gogol is afraid. So mark it here. Gogol is afraid to be Nikhil, someone he doesn't know and who doesn't know him. This sentence suggests that Gogol is still confused. Have you got it? Mark it properly. This is the answer from this till him to the question, how does the writer show that Gogol is still confused? Okay. So look now, welcome to elementary school. Nikhil, because the principal had already had a look at the registration form, so the principal came to know that this child has got his name as Nikhil. That's why the principal calls him as Nikhil. Welcome to elementary school. I am your principal. Child, I am your principal, right? Mrs. Lapidus, and my name is Mrs. Lapidus. In this way, she gives her introduction. Gogol looks down at his sneakers, and the way the principal pronounces his new name is different from the way his parents say it. Means, but the child doesn't seem to have given any notice to what the principal was saying, and in this way, bending down his head, the child was quite afraid. So the child was feeling confused and a little bit uncomfortable. So the child did not respond. So now the principal gives a look at the name, right? Gogol looks down. The way the principal pronounces his new name is different from the way his parents say it. The second part of it longer, sounding like heel, Nikhil. So the child is confused again because the new name is not giving him any kind of comfort. She bends down so that her face is level with his and puts her hand on his shoulder. Now the principal came to know that the child is not feeling comfortable. So obviously, affectionately, she sits down on her knees and tries to talk to the child very affectionately because she wanted to bring him into confidence, right? So she puts her hand on his shoulder very affectionately and asks, "Can you tell me how old you are, Nikhil?" Again, whenever she was pronouncing the name Nikhil, the child was confused. Nikhil, how uncomfortable this name is. So she was asking about his age. "Yes, beta, how old are you?" So children, have a look. Please turn over your page. When the question is repeated and there is still no response, when the question is repeated, means, the principal asked the child, the principal tried to confirm the age of the child. So the principal was asking the child how old he was, right? So the principal doesn't get any kind of response. So the principal is asking the same question. The principal repeats the question, okay? But the principal does not get any response. Mrs. Lapidus asked, "Mr. Ganguly." Now the principal is asking something to the child's father, Ashok, right? Mr. Ganguly, Ashok Ganguly is full name. So Mr. Ganguly, does Nikhil follow English? So naturally a question came to the principal's mind, whether the child is comfortable with this language or not. That's why she put up this question to his father, whether so-called Nikhil knows English or not, understands English or not. Of course he does, of course, Ashok says. Means Ashok was trying to look natural and he says, "Yes, ma'am, he is quite comfortable with English because he is bilingual." Bilingual means a person who is comfortable with two languages, English or Bengali, Hindi or English, Hindi or Urdu, like this. So bilingual, right? So Ashok says, "My son is perfectly bilingual." Okay. In order to prove that Gogol knows English, Ashok does something he has never done before. Now, Ashok has not done this thing before, so he addresses his son in careful accented English. Go on, Gogol. You know, we may try to look somewhat different, but naturality, spontaneity comes out. So it comes out here also. His father did not know that he will be caught. So naturally in English he asked his child, go on, Gogol, keep it up, Gogol, answer, respond to your principal, Gogol. He says, okay, tell Mrs. Lapidus how old you are, because this question was asked. But the principal was smart enough, clever enough. So what was that? Mrs. Lapidus caught him and asks, that name you called him something with a G? Yes, please repeat what you said. Oh, that is what we call him at home only. Oh, yeah, I just forgot to tell you.